Hello, everyone. It's me, Martin Cross, and I'm with the amazing Dutch rower Ruben Knab for this afternoon's Cross's Corner. Great to see you. Yeah, let's have a little wave. Ruben, you're looking fantastic, and I know at the moment you're in a stage where you're preparing to race at the European Championships. You've done some race prep work this morning, I gather.
Thank you, Martin. Yes. This morning we had a race preparation session, as is like traditional a week before the regatta starts. So we're in full prep at the moment.
So what are you doing? Are you doing 1,000 meters or 1,500 or some 500s?
This morning we did two 1,500 pieces. Yeah,
Ah.
one first 1,500 and two the with the sprint and everything.
Oh wow! I bet that felt really good to be doing some. Or did it feel good, or did it feel a bit strange? I don't know because I'm thinking that race preparation would be fun to do, but it's not exactly summer, is it?
No, the race preparation is always fun, but this is like a strange period in going into the regatta because you're not quite uh, fit and fresh yet, but you still have to do the racing, and the racing is what you live for in the
Yeah,
end. But it doesn't feel as fresh and as nice as you would have in the regatta.
yeah. Must be really strange. I mean, how motivated are you guys about the Europeans and about racing next week?
At the moment, we're very motivated. Like it's the only race we get this year, so it's
Wow.
grab all you can.
Yeah. I I saw the entries came out for the men's eights, and you've got a decent entry considering that Britain's not there because of COVID restrictions. So there's five crews, and I guess the first name amongst them, Germany, is the one that you guys have had on your mind.
Yeah, obviously. Like last year was really close between us and Germany. So this year is, yeah, we're really focused on closing that half a
Yeah.
second between us and them. That's been our main motivation this entire year.
Wow, that's really interesting. We're going to have a look at that fantastic race, or at least some photographs from it, and I guess hopefully you'll be able to talk us through it. But I did hear from the Germans that even if the European Championships were going to be postponed, you guys were going to do a private match head to head. Is that
Oh,
right?
there were talks about it, but the European Championships are still going through. But actually, the week after European Championships, we have the Nets Cup in Rendsburg, which is a big long distance race between us and Germany, and I don't know what other crew is coming.
Oh,
So we
that.
do have a sort of private race as well.
Oh, right. So you've got 2 weeks of racing the Germans. That's fantastic.
You make it sound like fun.
I don't know if the long distance race would be fun because don't you go over that at something like 35, 36 all the way?
Yeah, it's 12 Ks and it's like full on start for a 2 kilometer race, and then you just hang on for dear life and see how long you can keep the speed for. And usually the one who can keep the speed for the longest is the one who gets in front and will be the winner in the end.
Wow, that's so cool. I've seen some very close races, some films. I've never been there actually, but I've seen some great films of racing. And
Yeah, yeah. I think last year was very exciting with a unique situation with two guys in both crews going down in the race.
yeah,
I've actually never seen that before. Someone just stopping rowing.
no, it's very unusual, isn't it?
It was very unusual, but
Yeah,
very amusing at the same time as well. It made
yeah,
it more exciting because, yeah, it proved for a unique situation in which it was a 7v7 instead of 8v8.
yeah. That. Oh, so I'm really going to be interested to watch that. Whereabouts are you sitting in the eight, Ruben? Are you in your usual two-seat that you're in last year, or have the eight moved around since the regatta at Linz?
We have moved around during the season, but that was some experimenting and some like just for training purposes as well. But I'm back in the two seat.
And you have you got Bjorn van der Ende, your bow man behind you?
Yeah. He's my bow buddy. Yeah, we
Wow.
work very well together. So I'm glad he's behind me at the moment.
The feeling of rowing in the bows in a fast eight is something special, isn't it?
Yeah, if it goes well, the feeling in bow is yeah, it's pretty unique feeling. Yeah, it's
Wow.
really weird to feel the in the bow the vertical movement of the boat is felt really well.
Yeah.
But when it moves really nice and you're going into the front into the catch, you can feel the bow coming out of the water and you can feel the exact moment at which you should make make the catch and
Yeah.
start driving the boat again.
Yeah. I'm wondering, would you say you're rowing at your best now, or as well as you've ever rowed in your life before?
Well, I think I improve every year. Like this year is a strange year. I think technically I'm rowing on par with last year at least, but physically have had like a big hiatus
Yeah.
right in the middle of training season, and so it's not as well prepared and as focused as last year. But I think we might be on par. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've been rowing. How many years is it since you've been rowing now, or started
Um,
rowing?
I started rowing in 2006
Wow.
at Nero's in Amsterdam when I started studying as well.
Yeah.
Been about 14 years now.
Wow. And you went through into the under 23s fairly quickly from near house, didn't you?
Yeah. I was lucky to have like we had a very good training group at Nero's at the moment with a lot of quite successful guys. Robert Luca was in my training group at that
Oh,
moment,
lovely.
and Boas Meilink as well.
Ah, yeah.
And they both went on to be bronze medalists and world champions.
Yeah.
Um, and David McGowan was the one coaching that group at the time,
Ah,
and
okay.
he was really driving the group to get to national team level.
Yeah.
So actually, a lot of our guys went to under 23 or the university championships or even the national team. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you had a relatively successful time in the under 23s. I think you won some medals in that discipline.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
No.
I was looking at the wrong results. So what
No,
happened?
I don't think. I think I did the eight, which was quite unsuccessful, and then I did the Cox four, which was not so successful, and um, and I was in a quad, which was a really like unlucky and unhappy year. It was not so good.
Yeah.
Um, but under 23s for me is a really difficult period in the Netherlands because it is a period in which the student rowers and junior rowers get together,
Yeah.
and there's always differences in skill level or training level, and um, it's I think it's a real big challenge to get the under 23 crews to a performance because
Yeah.
it's all guys coming right out of the club system and trying to push on to the next level, but
Yeah.
it's not all of them that are going to make it. It's like a selection process going on.
So what motivated you, given that you hadn't had medal success, what motivated you to carry on rowing into the senior world championships?
Um, I just I just love the sport, Martin. It's really easy. It's um, it's a really good feeling to be in a boat, and I think the training mentality in rowing and the required work, the training work really fits my character, my personality.
Wow.
And at the time we had a system which was really open for talented young guys to be invited into the national training group.
Yeah.
Training group and have a way to prove themselves. Yeah.
So you talked about your personality there. I mean, how would you describe it? I know one of the sort of questions that I kind of wanted to ask you is, are you an introvert or an extrovert preference? How would you describe yourself?
Well, I think I would describe myself as an introvert person.
Yeah.
Because like when I'm low on energy, I prefer the quiet and to not say as much as I would.
Yeah.
And that yeah, I'm not as much an extrovert person. I like my own space and I like my own private surroundings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how come an introvert really loves a crew sport then?
Well, I think there's a role for every kind of personality in a crew sport, especially in rowing. Like it takes. I think it would be terrible to have extrovert person in the eight, all extrovert guys. That would be noisy. That would really be terrible.
Yeah.
I think only 2 or 3 extrovert guys is for me is more than enough.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think I would describe a lot of the guys in our team to be introvert, not extrovert. So I think in rowing, where rowing especially where is a sport for me where there's not much room for ego,
Yeah.
less than like football or tennis or anything. Um, you have to work within the machine. So when you have extrovert guys or guys with a big ego and wanting to prove their point and do their own thing, it just doesn't work in rowing.
That's really interesting. So is the personality of your eight that you're in, is it more introverted, or do you have a couple of extroverts in there that sort of like to say things during the pieces?
Yeah, there's I think the balance shifts toward introvert guys, but
Yeah.
there's obviously some extrovert guys
Yeah.
as well, because I mean you also need some people to make the noise, right?
Yeah. Who's a
In
bit of an extrovert in your crew?
I think I would describe Bjorn as being extrovert, the bow
Yeah.
guy. He's he's a really positive and happy guy, and he always likes to motivate other people.
Yeah.
And I would describe the stroke man, Robert Luca,
Yeah.
as being extrovert. He really has a big opinion on the technical side of the rowing.
Yeah.
He really wants to yeah to make his point from the stroke seat in what he thinks is the way we should row.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it made a big difference him coming back into the eight, didn't it? I know it took maybe a year or two to sort of to transfer through to that result last year in 2019, but he does give something special to the eight in the stroke seat.
Yeah. I think he was out of rowing in 2018. I think
Yeah,
in 2017 was a weird year for us because there was guys going out, guys coming in. Like the post-Olympic year is always a weird year
yeah,
uh, for the team. And then in 2018, Robert needed some personal time, and he had a break from rowing for a year after the first World Cup.
yeah,
And then after he came back, and in 2019, we straight away we were back on the level we were supposed to be. Yeah, I
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
we were a better crew than 2017 and 18 crew. Yeah.
Yeah. We were talking about you making a transition from before we got into personality, making a transition from the under 23s, and I guess quite early on in your career, you made the Olympic Games. You rode in the 2012 Olympics in the Dutch four.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. How
So
did you feel about that?
tell us how that came about, because that's quite a big jump to take, isn't it?
Yeah, that was really exciting. That was a really, really positive time for me. It started with my selection into the team in 2011.
Yeah,
Going into the Bled World Championships, we selected a crew with Kai Hendricks and
yeah,
Meindert, who was also in the and Joseph Klaassen. And like in the selection races, we just crushed it.
wow,
We did such a fast piece the first time we were together, and the coaches said, these guys have a click. We should keep them together, have them train, and
yeah,
they'll be really good. But then, because of most of our most of our team had like a lack of experience, I think it was,
yeah,
and that made it difficult for us to keep a consistent performance because we did like I think we only did 2 races that year. We did Lucerne and we did the World Championships.
yeah,
That made it very difficult to get to a consistent level and to know what kind of crew we were.
yeah.
In the end, we did manage to qualify for the 2012 Olympics, and the next year we had like a new selection, and the coaches decided to select an even more inexperienced crew. Like we were all, I think our average age was 24, 25 going
Yeah,
into London Olympics with Boas Meilink and Michiel Versluis together with Kai and me. But we just invested so much in our training effort, and we were so we're really focused on becoming the toughest training crew
yeah,
in the team. Yeah, because we couldn't like we weren't the nicest rowing crew, and we weren't uh, the most experienced guys, and we did not have any old guys, so we were just relying on raw character and
yeah,
strength to be competitive.
yeah, yeah. Do you remember what your first competing in your first Olympics was like, for someone of 24 years of age, relatively young to get to the Olympics? Do you have memories of what that London Olympics was like being there for you?
Well, I've only had 2 examples of Olympic Games, but London was by far the most incredible experience I've had.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, you've been there. The wall of sound at Eton Dorney in
Yeah,
that Olympics, it was just amazing. That blew me away. It was not only on finals day, but it was also in semifinals. You just rode into this wall of sound of the spectators cheering you on, and you couldn't hear the team giving like pointers and everything. You
yeah.
you just couldn't hear each other anymore. So we
Wow.
really had to rely on each other to, all right, this is where we go, and this is where the sprint starts.
Yeah,
Um, because it just wasn't possible to listen to each other anymore.
yeah,
And the thing that I remember most from going into the London Olympics was in it was like a satellite village. We were
yeah,
in some kind of school dormitories um, for the rowing, and I was walking around. It was the day before the semifinals, and I was walking around, and I felt so good. I didn't want to walk anymore. I wanted to run. instead of walking. It just didn't feel right to be doing such a slow thing when I was feeling so fast.
Wow. What a
That
buzz. What a feeling.
Yeah, that was a good experience.